Check, check, check. How's everybody doing out there? Hopefully fantastic. I'm trying to place a trade right now, actually, before I get into the live stream. Come on. Okay, there we go. All right, I just shorted some VVPR into this parabolic move at 1625. Good morning, Gino. What's up, man? Did you sell some of that WWR yet? Okay, let's see here. Long WWR. Morning buy-in. Long WWR from with a 757 average now. And short. Just shorted this parabolic move on VVPR at 1625. I think that was it. 1623. Not a big position. Very small. Very small. I'm on a... All right. First of all, let's see here. I'm really excited today. Very excited today. So today is the 9th of October. Today's the 9th of October, and this week has been an absolutely epic week. Fantastic. I mean, WWR. Okay, don't let me forget, I also want to talk about CEI later on. We got to talk about a setup for CEI. And I want to really point out the key parts of that setup just to go through it. But in the meantime, WWR. Now, this front side of the move, you know, we've been trading this for the last week. I mean, I caught pieces of this long on the front side of the move. And I traded it pretty bad. I didn't hold it as long as I should have. Whatever. I took profits. Whatever. I made money on the front side of the move. But then, when the music stops and this fucker rolled over, let's talk about that right now because, okay, yesterday was just an absolute epic short. You guys know that I was short from we have two really, probably my two most favorite setups are right here in this pattern over the last few days. Good morning, Matt. I couldn't help it, Matt. I sold some more in the 9. I sold some more at like 9, like 920, I think. I sold some more at 920. I'm down to 2,000 shares on WWR. My goal was not to sell anything until 9. So that was my goal, which I've hit my goal. I'm still holding 2,000 shares. This morning in pre-market, or yesterday when I went to bed, I had 4,500 shares, so I've sold about half of them. Anyways, so let's talk about the two setups. On Wednesday, we talked about overextended gap down setup. And that's for the short side, for anybody that likes shorting. You can see this is super extended, and it gapped down on Wednesday morning. I shorted one of these little bounces, and I got my first short in the 13s. I added in the 12s. I covered on some dips. I added some more back on some 12s. And then I held overnight. And yesterday I faded this down all the way down to $8.26. And then I started sizing in for the long. And I really started taking more size, like significant size at 8. And then it had this dump after hours all the way down to 7, sub 7. And I really piled in there. And then this morning we get this nice gap up. I was thinking this thing could bounce to like 10, 11, maybe even $12. I mean, hell, who knows? It could go higher. I don't know. All I know is this is the number 5 setup that I talk about all the time. Okay? By no means is this a good company. This company sucks. This is a garbage company, so don't get married to it. Like, I said it on Wednesday. I mean, in a month, I think this thing will be right back down here at $4. You know? Maybe not, though. But also, Wednesday, we were talking about probably the best catalyst that you can have is sector momentum. And energy has been hot lately. And WWR is right in that energy sector. They are, what's the name of their company? Westwater Resources. So, anyways, so we've seen it a million times. Look at this blow off top volume, a big gap up, and then we get the low volume sell off for the last 2 days. Yesterday was, God, it was such a great short. Faded that all day long. And then now we get the low volume sell off, and we got kind of lucky though. We got kind of lucky. You're welcome, Matt. I'm so happy you fucking bought it. I'm so happy you fucking bought it. I hope you fucking went all in. You know? Damn it, what was I going to say? What the fuck was I going to say? Oh, we got lucky today. The reason why we got lucky is because they put out some fucking bullshit news this morning. So they put out some news this morning about, I don't know what it was. What was it? Somebody sent me the link. Oh, they put out some news. They put out some news which helped us, which gave us that gap up. So I suspect, and so for those of you who didn't get in yesterday, I'm thinking this thing will, if it dumps, okay, red to green on this is 777. So if this dumps at the open, I plan on adding some shares back in the low 8s. So that's my plan. I'm going to add some shares. I'm going to risk red to green, 777. And, but hopefully it holds. Hopefully, I mean, it might, I'm assuming it's going to have a little dip right at the open. And then hopefully it rips and we can take it to, I'm praying that I can have the patience to hold this to 10, maybe 11, maybe even $12. But if it hits 10, I'll probably sell, you know, I'm going to definitely be selling. Yeah, let's be honest here. If it gets this 950, I'll be selling. So this is a primo setup. I mean, we've seen it a bunch of times. And really, you know, I think the theme of today needs to be like less is more. You know, like on Wednesday, you guys see me, you know, I went over the overextended gap down setup. And I had a nice position on it. And I took profits into the morning dump. And then after that, there was nothing really to trade. But then I took like 4 or 5 trades during the live stream. And it was all subpar setups. It was all a bunch of bullshit. Just a bunch of noise. And, you know, I took several paper cuts. And it you know, it cut into my profits. You know, I think I lost like $500 taking just random bullshit trades. You know, I mean, I still had a nice day from my short, but less is definitely more. Because if you can just wait for certain setups, I'm not good at trading the front side of this move at all. I mean, there was definitely opportunities on the front side, and I'm not good because you never know where the stock's going to stop. I mean, you don't know where it's going to stop, where it's going to roll over at, but I mean, you can kind of tell. Let's see here. If I can get... Damn it. There we go. I mean, this thing... You know what? Thank God on Tuesday there was no shares to short. Because if I could have shorted it up here in the 9s, I would have. Which I don't think I would have ended up losing money on it. Because I wouldn't have held those shares overnight. Once this thing held on Tuesday, Once it held over VWAP, it stayed over VWAP. I mean, it was just consolidating right here into the close. I would have been scared of an after hours gap up, and we got one pre-market. But yeah, if I could have found shares to short, I would have been shorting into these parabolic moves at 9. For sure. I probably should cover some of this VVPR that's pulling back now. What was my... Yeah, I can make 30 cents on it right now, or I could wait. I think VVPR is gonna dip at the open. I'll cover a little. There it goes. We'll hold the rest. I think it's gonna dip at the open. Anyways, so where are we at? It's 8:20 now. Yeah, I'm not good at the front side of the move. I traded it last Friday. I got some on Monday. I only caught pieces of the move, but I really nailed this fucking short. This short was epic as shit yesterday, and now hopefully the long. I mean, I did not expect this thing to unwind. I covered the last of my shares at $8.26. I thought 8 was best case scenario, and I actually thought it was going to bounce yesterday. That's why I started piling in at 8. Like, I really started taking huge size at 8. Let's see here. Gino asked if I expect it to spike at the market open. Gino, I really don't know. That's why I took some profits. I paid myself up in the 930s. Honestly, as much as I don't want to admit it, I think that, this thing is bouncing off that fucking shitty news. Let's look at the news real quick. Well, they put out more news. So, they received 30 metric tons of graphite concentrate for pilot plant productions. Shares jump. Wall Street futures buoyed by COVID-19 stimulus. So I honestly think it's probably going to dip at the open, and I'm hoping for a dip and rip. So if it dips down towards 8, I'm gonna add some shares back, and then sell into the push. Hopefully we can get over the pre-market highs today. Depending on how it closes, if it closes high, and it closes strong, then I'll hold it overnight. But if it's looking weak and pathetic, then I'll just sell the rest. Matt says he learned something new. Double check your limit order pre-market. I put in an order thinking I got it all, and it was only partially filled. I've had that happen too. That sucks. But did you add some? You added some more on the dip in the 820s, right? I think you added some on the dip. Yeah, this morning I sold. My first sell was up in the 860s. I added some more shares back in the 830s, and then I sold some more up here in the 930s. And then we're just going to see what happens at the open. Meanwhile, VVPR, so they're up on some hype right now. We'll see what happens with that. VVPR pretty volatile. And multi-day runner. If you look at VVPR was the last really solid number 5 dip buy that we traded. I traded it bad. You see this big squeeze. Then you got the low volume sell off. I was buying down here, and I can't remember exactly what I think I made like $1 a share on it. See this first green day, I was buying down here in the 6s, low 6s, and then the next day I was selling in the 7s, And when it couldn't keep going, I didn't hold it overnight. And you see it consolidated for a couple of days, and then it really started to squeeze. So I just didn't have the patience. When I didn't get my second green day, I got out. I think I did hold overnight, but whenever I didn't get my spike, my morning spike for the second green day, I didn't overstay. And that could have, I didn't know it was going to consolidate, and then because a lot of times they might, on the second green day, you might get a little push or a tiny push, and then it just rolls over and it dies. When you're doing like this dip buy on the number 5, all bounces are not created equal. So we don't know how much they're going to bounce. But, I mean, this bounce kind of sucked because, it consolidated for 2 days, then it went. I think my business partner actually, he's good at holding. And so I think he may have captured, up, sold around in like 9 or 10. I can't remember. He didn't tell me. In any event, now VVPR is gapping up, so creating more opportunity for us. It's actually breaking out on the daily. I got a small position short right now from 1625. I think it's going to dip at the open. It probably dip. Well, I mean, it's right over. Its highs were about $15, 14.84. So it may not dip at all. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just throw my stop loss in at 16.25. But, I mean, right at the bell, it's going to whip around some. It's kind of fading right now. We'll see what happens. See, we got 5 minutes till the market open. What did Matthew say? Are you expecting to have a spike? Oh yeah, you already answered that one. So yes, so if I can, if WWR holds up and it keeps squeezing, I mean, this week is going to be, this is going to be an amazing week. So, I mean, right now, I've locked in $2,500 in profits. I still got another $3,000 unrealized on WWR. I mean, really, I guess I could just sell it right now and then just take $5,000 of profits and go back to sleep. But the degenerate in me, I think it can go higher, I do. I think it can bounce to 10. And this WW and this VVRP, maybe I probably should have stayed away from this one. And it's going to squeeze. I better get out before it takes my profits away from WWR. Less is more, right? Less is more. And there it goes. 1660s. Man, VVPR. There we go. There's a dump. I'm watching VVPR right now. I almost covered into that little squeeze. Then it got rejected. It got smacked down. See how it holds 16. Might just get out right now for minimal profits. $15.80s, $15.70s, $15.60s, $15.50s. Cover. All right, I'm out in the $15.60s. Just a scalp. I mean, I don't know what it's going to do at the open. Who knows? We'll just wait and see how it sets up. There might be another short opportunity later. I think it's going to dump, but I'm not trying to get back any of my profits from WWR. So I'm going to try to keep my trading to an absolute minimum. I'm gonna try my best to stay away because this WWR winner, I'm working on that, and you know, less is more. I don't need to trade everything. I don't need to be giving back all my profits. I mean, this is such. We basically had my two favorite setups in this 1 week. We had the first red day, overextended gap down. Now we got the number 5 dip buy. So thank God they put out some news. They put out some news for us, and now we got the gap up. And later on, when things slow down, I do want to go over CEI because yesterday there was a fucking amazing long setup. I missed it because I didn't see it. I did catch it short, but the long was there, and I want to go over that long setup not only to reintegrate in my brain. Oh, there we go. We are open. So we're open. Focus on WWR right now. My top 2 watches right now are WWR and VVRP. I really haven't looked at MDSG, SNMP, MVIS. I haven't looked at any of those yet because I was basically tuned in to WWR, and it took a while to get my computer going and everything else. So I'm glad I covered the VVRP. It's kind of trying to spike right now. Maybe should have shorted some there into that little spike. I was thinking VVPR is going to... Alright, so I got some short at 1630. I'm thinking that this spike is going to fail. It's going to dip before it can rip. I could be wrong, though. And we're getting a dip on WWR right now. So I'm going to add shares. I'm going to add shares on WWR. Maybe I should add some now. Yeah, we'll wait. Alright, I'll add small size. I'm going to add some small size. Okay, I added some shares on WWR at... What did I add at? Did I get it? It looks like I got it in the 880s. Alright, and now we're getting a flush on VVRP. So I got that one short. I'm expecting this spike to fail. And in other words, I think it's going to dip before it can rip. So we'll see if it cracks. If it starts holding, if VVPR starts holding like these 1560s right here, I'm going to exit pretty fast. In fact, I should have took some off in the low 16s. All right, I'm taking some off right there. Took some off in the low 16s or at 16. Now it's dumping a little bit more. WWR back up to $9. I think I'm going to sell some right up here. It looks like it's having trouble getting through that $9 right now. So I'm going to sell a little bit right there. So I sold some more WWR at $8.99. Meanwhile, VVPR is holding, and I don't likey. So I'm going to take the rest of my profits on my VVPR. Now back to WWR. So right now, the low of this candle is 868. So I think I'm probably gonna set my risk. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait and see where it puts in a support level. And then risk off of that support. So we need to wait maybe 10 or 15 minutes and find out where it puts in the support and then risk off of that, because it looks like it's gonna go a little bit lower. So we're dumping down to the 875 now, 860s. VVPR's holding. VVPR holding the 1650s or the 1550s. And WWR looks like it's going to flush a little bit. I expected a flush at the open. I mean, it bounced so much, you know, pre-market that, you know, you can expect a little profit taking at the open. We just needed to put in a support base and then work off of that support. There goes VVPR. Cracking 650 now. LKNCY that's an OTC that a lot of people in Sykes' room are playing right now. Apparently it's having a panic. Sykes just bought it at 8,500 shares at 470. LKNCY. It's already bouncing. I wouldn't chase that bounce right there. He bought it at 470. I wouldn't chase that bounce because he's going to be selling probably 480, 490. I mean, he bought 8,500 shares, so all he needs is like 10 cents and he's going to sell. All right, WWR is down to the 850s. We'll see how 850s hold. Come on, WWR. Don't give it all up. All right, 15 is holding. And on VVPR, like if you look at 15, it's holding. It's no surprise that 15 is holding because if you look on the daily chart, the high was 15. So, or 1480, 1490s. So that's like a perfect. That's a perfect dip buy right there. Could have bought it right there at 15. You know, expecting that 15 to hold because the daily chart, the high was the 1490s. So it's no wonder that 15 held on VVPR. Can it keep squeezing though is the question. Oh, no more shares. No more shares to short on VVPR. Which I'm glad, because this thing's going higher. Kind of wish I would have bought it on the dip close to 15, but wasn't quick enough. Well, I didn't even attempt, but... Alright, so WWR is putting in... It's bouncing off this 850 area. Pretty nicely. You can see that it had a high in the 830s right here. 825. So it's bouncing off the 850s right now. We'll see if it starts to go sideways or put in a higher low. And then maybe look to add some shares. Damn. VVPR up to almost 18 now. Woo! Son of a bitch. I can't buy it up here. I'm not chasing this breakout on VVPR. I don't trust it at all. So you could... So, you know, you got a lot of breakout buyers that are buying this break of the pre-market highs and the high of day right here over 17. But I don't trust this motherfucker at all. There's one thing I know about VVPR, and it's very volatile. It has a history of spiking, failing, and then once it fails, it rips back. Very whippy. LKNCY. Oh, looks that Sykes sold for a loss. He sold at 464. No bounce. Rule number 1, cut losses quickly. I'll tell you what, Sykes is really, really good at cutting his losses. He's quick about it. Down to 450. Let me look at the daily on LKNCY. I don't normally trade OTCs, but I might actually try... I might actually buy this LKNCY. Look at that daily chart. 450. I really don't want to chase this bounce. And one thing about OTCs, they really suck because fucking executions are a bitch. I just tried to hit the bid at 860 and I got no fill. That's why I don't trade OTCs very much. Is, well, A, I can't short them in E-Trade, and B, executions are such a bitch with OTCs. Maybe I'll put an order at 855. We'll see if we get a fill, or 455. I mean, I'm not expecting to get a fill, but you never know. One time I was long an OTC, and it was starting to go against me. This is what really turned me off to OTCs. I was long an OTC, and it was going against me, and I was trying to get out. I was trying to sell. I was trying to hit the ask. I was trying to sell. Or hit the bid. Oh, okay, I got some at 457. I got some LK and CY. And I'm like, usually if you put your sell order below, the bid, you're going to get a fill no matter what, especially on a NASDAQ. You're going to get insta-filled. And it just kept going down, 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 and I just kept trying to hit the bid and just kept, just going down, 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 and it just wouldn't fucking sell. It was like driving me fucking crazy. And it really turned me off to OTCs at that time because executions are not real easy. I'm kind of thinking of adding here in the in the 450s. See if I can buy some more. Okay, so I just now put in an order at 456. I'm trying to hit the ask. I'm above the ask, and I'm getting no fill. See, this is what sucks. Is that there he goes? I got some. Fucking OTCs. There are some brokers though. Like a direct access broker. You could get one of them, and you could actually pick your route that you want your execution to get filled at. Now, like at E-Trade and TD Ameritrade, we have no fees, and that's because we just use an auto. We use an auto, routing. Whereas direct access, you can actually pick. So with the OTCs, you could try out different routes and find out which one gives you the best fill. I don't know a whole lot about direct access brokers or how the routing works real well because I've never actually done it. But I've heard other traders talk about it. I've heard other gurus talk about it, about how if they would experiment with a certain route and that would get them a better execution on, say, like OTCs. We don't need to worry about that when we're trading these NASDAQs because we get insta fills as long as there's buyers and sellers there, which there always is, unless you're chasing some absorbent. Buying says I am out way too early as usual. Matt out of SNMP at 144, sold too early but took profits. What is that one doing? I haven't looked at any. Oh yeah, look at that. Bounced up to 9. Where were you in? Good morning, Leroy. Buying GE long from 664, sold it at 705. That's a good trade, buying. GE as in General Electric. Oh shit. LK and CY going against me more. I'm not going to cut the loss just yet. I'm going to add some into this dip. OTCs are pretty reliable for a bounce. So I'm going to try to add 500 shares. I added some more at 445. So my average is 454. My goal would be 480 on LK and CY. And the reason why my goal is 480 because that's where the red to green is. Man, CEI failing, giving it up. And look at that. WWR is putting in support at 850. So maybe this is where I want to add a bit more size. We'll wait. I'm going to wait on WWR. It's putting in some support at 850. I might set my risk at 8. Set it at the low, maybe at 839. And take the rest of my profits if it... Look at that. VVPR up to 19. Jesus. All right, so we got... It's pulling back now. WWR is. Okay, I got some more executed on LKNCY at 441. VVPR hit 19. Now it's pulling back to the 1750s. Really? I mean, if you're going to buy VVPR right now, on this little yank right here, back to the pre-market and the high a day from the breakout level, you could buy it right here in the maybe the 1750s, 1780s. I'm not going to because I don't trust it. And WWR is pulling back right now. So I'm going to put my risk at, I mean, I don't know if I should sell if it breaks 840 or let it fade some more and then add in the low 8s. And now we're starting to get a bounce on LKNCY. LKNCY. Starting to get a little bit of a bounce. Let's see if it can go. All right. WWR cracking low a day. Now it's really starting to dump down to the 830s. I guess I should have took most of my profits up at 950. My goal was 9 to start selling at 9, but I feel like this thing can have more upside. I'm gonna buy some more. I'm buying more WWR at 828. I bought some more at 828 into that little flush. Okay, now my new average is 793. And is LKNCY ever gonna bounce? Matt was watching VVPR in the 12s. Yeah, VVPR is pretty hot right now. Wow, you saw it in the 12s? All right, there we go. Now we're starting to bounce. So 480 is my goal. That's red to green. I probably will take it off at 470. $459. I'm gonna try to sell some right there. Sold a little bit at 458. And then we'll see if I can let the rest work. I'm gonna try to hold the rest to 470. Meanwhile, while LKNCY bounces, we'll check our friend WWR. So hopefully it can make a comeback. I think it can. I think we're going to get a lot of dip buyers buying it up over $8 here. Anywhere, the closer it gets to 8, I think we'll see more buyers stepping in. And there we go. Remember, we're talking about VVPR. You could buy it right here at the high a day support right there in like the 1730s. I mean, you could have just made almost $1 a share, sold it at 18. Man, this thing's volatile. I'm not messing with it though. It's too whippy and it's too crazy right now, and I'm not trying to get back all my money. Look at that. Look at that dump right there, all the way down to 1626. Now, keep in mind, VVPR, it's halted on the way down. Keep in mind, VVPR, if it starts giving it all up, it will bounce. there's one thing I know about VVPR. I've traded it quite a bit. Any big flushes, it always has a bounce. So VVPR might be a potential bounce play if it dumps. I mean, maybe down to 15, maybe down to low a day. If it dumps down to the low 15s, it very well could potentially bounce, or even lower. Come on, WWR. WWR is making me wish I would have sold almost everything up at 950. I probably should have. I don't know why I fucking held so many shares. I mean, shit, it hit my goals. I can hold this. I can hold a small amount to see if it, over the next couple of days. So now we're going to 8, 29, 25. Down to the 820s. So WWR dumps anywhere closer to 8. I'm thinking about adding some here in the low 820s. I think I might. Yeah, I'll add another 250 shares at 821. Put a buy order in 821. See if it gets filled. Might not. Okay, I hit the ask. I took it at 825. And now, if I would have just waited 2 seconds, I would have got the fill. So VVPR still halted. And LKNCY bouncing a little bit still. 470. If it gets to 470, I'll be selling. I'm thinking about just selling it now and taking the rest of my profits. You're going to get over 460, LKNCY. LKNCY. Getting over 460? No, I'm just going to get rejected. All right, I'm out. I'm going to sell it, take the rest of my profits. If I can get a fucking... If I can get a execution. There we go. Got executed. Executed at... What price did I get executed at? 455. Got executed at. Okay, WWR down to 820. 821. The bid looks real like it's stacking up on WWR. I'm thinking about adding more. I mean, now I'm back up to 2,500 shares. To add more, to not add more. My average is now 796. I'm just going to leave it alone. $2,500 shares is enough. I know. Is that like Luck and Coffee? China stocks that got halted for months. I don't understand what you're saying, Matt. I know. Is that fucking coffee? China stock that got halted for months. Are you asking VVPR is going to get halted for months? No, it's supposed to resume in 30 seconds. And VVPR is open. Open. Look at that. I bet you VVPR bounces right here at 16. Starting to bounce a little bit. I'm not buying it though. Nope, it's going to test low a day. God, I kind of want to buy it. I'm not going to lie. I do want to buy it. It's so volatile. You don't even have to be in it for very long. Oh, I almost bought it at 16.10. There it goes. 16.30s. To buy or to not to buy? All right, I got it at 16 exactly. I got VVPR at 16 exactly. I took very small size though, because this thing's so crazy. It's like one of my ex-girlfriends. This redhead I dated. That's what VVPR is. Her name is Tiffany. She was hot, but she was a lunatic. Super volatile. Her emotions were like VVPR. 100%. Okay? Dude, VVPR so reminds me of her. Okay? Very attractive. You just want to get in it. But so volatile. You know it's dangerous. She cried a lot. One time we were riding bikes. And I wasn't paying attention to her, and I kind of left her. And I hear her yell at me, and I look back, and she's like way back there, and I was like, oh shit, I left her behind. So then I went back to her, and I got to her, and she was crying. I'm like, you're crying just because I got a little ahead of you a little bit? Calm down. Okay, I got my stop loss in at 15.70. I'm risking 30 cents. It's either going to bounce here. It's either going to find... Oh, took me out. See, and that's what I did to her. I cut her loose real quick. Let's see if 15 holds. I might try again. See, this is what I'm talking about. Less is more. I should just probably put my stop loss in on WWR and just walk away from the market for the rest of the day. That'd probably be the best move. Okay, it's going to test low a day here. I probably should have risked 15. I think it's going to bounce. Okay, I hop back into VVPR at 15.64. This time I'm actually going to risk 15. Okay, I got the stop loss in, and if VVPR bounces $1, I'm going to be selling it. And it looks like WWR is finding some support in the 820s. So, yep, I added in the 820s, but I was wanting to add more. But now it's starting to bounce a little bit. So for those of you who didn't get in, maybe this is the spot to get in. Because I'm thinking, barring that they do like an offering or something like that, that this thing can go to $9, $10, maybe $11 in the coming days. I mean, JE on the uppity up. JE. Oh wow, it is squeezing a little bit. NVIS at VWAP has volume too. Fuck yeah, Matt, you're on top of it. Man. So big pre-market spike, and then just faded, and now it's going. Meanwhile, VVPR at 16. There go VVPR goes a little bit. VVPR finding a bid. I'm in at 1564. I'm going to start selling at 17. In fact, I need to put it in an order right now. Oh, never mind. Got smacked down. I might try to take some out at 1650. Come on, don't give it up, VVPR. Fuck. $16.48. VWAP acting as resistance. You gotta hold 16, bro. Come on, VVPR. Says, nope, I'm not holding shit for you. It's gonna hold 16. Fuck. I tried to get out at 1691, 1591. Got a partial fill. 10 shares. All right, I'm out of VVPR. I don't trust it. It didn't. I thought it was about right here when you see this little pop, this candle up towards VWAP 1650. I thought it was about to squeeze right there, but it looks like it wants to consolidate and fuck around some more. So I'm gonna get out. We'll see if it holds the 1550s. I might try to dip by it again if it dumps lower. Meanwhile, WWR in the 830s. I'm regretting not taking more profits on WWR in pre-market. I mean, I had 4,500 shares. I took 2,000 of them. And then I took some more right at the open. But, I mean, we'll see where this can go. Today's first green day after the low volume sell-off. So, I'd love to see, man, I don't see any reason why this couldn't get back to 11. VVPR holding 16. VVPR is going to go. I can feel it. I can feel it in my vasectomy. VVPR is going to squeeze to 17, 18 bucks. I know it is. I'm getting FOMO really bad right now. Really bad. Less is more. Less is more. Less is more. That son of a bitch. There it goes. There it goes. VVPR. I could take it now. It's 1640s. God. I can't do it. Less is more. I'll just watch. Okay? I'll just watch. Be a weirdo. Just sit on the sidelines and watch. SNMP, possible curl here. Let's look at it. SNMP. Look at the daily real quick. Look left. Always look left on the daily, kids. Always look left. Look left. To the left, to the left. Wow, big gap up. Second green day. It's dumping down to $1. So failed morning spike. I mean, it could come back. It could hold $1 and come back. I'm not going to mess with it yet, though. Pat on the back, Brian. VVPR rejected at 1650. Right here's the spot to buy. And risk the low. Risk 1646. All right, I did it again. 1593. I'm in at 1593 again on VVPR. God, I'm so bad. Risking 1550, which is probably going to hit that. I got FOMO with VVPR, okay? I don't want to see it squeeze without me. I want to go on the ride. Meanwhile, WWR putting in some support at the 820s. I'm thinking about adding more shares. To add more shares or to not add more shares? That is the question. In the 830s. I feel like she's going to bounce. Oh, I missed it. I tried to get in at 831. Didn't get any. I think WWR is the bounce right here. Put in some nice support in the 820s. Okay, I pumped it in the chat a little bit. NO is a piece of shit now. NO? NO? I don't think we've ever traded NO. NO? No? Also, kids, don't let me forget CEI. We got to go over that setup. It's a great long setup that we need to remember and watch for the future. Come on, hold 1550 VVPR. Don't give it up. Even though I know you are. Come on, hold it. Thank God I didn't chase. Thank God I didn't chase right up here in like the 1630s. I almost did. Because it looked like it was about to fucking go B-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-S. Bananas. 1580s. I wonder if Henry held. I wonder if he, because he was long WWR from like $4 or something. I wonder if he still has those shares. Because if he does, right now would be a great spot for him to add in the 830s. And then sell into the bounce. And And there goes VVPR. Another paper cut on VVPR. So I'm 1 for 2. No, I'm 2 losses, 1 win on VVPR. You fucker. And I'm going to put in a stop loss at 820 for the shares that I bought in the 820s. So for those of you who don't know, if you have E-Trade, you can select a lot, so you can pick what shares at what price that you want to sell. Like if, say, you bought shares at a certain price, you want to sell those shares instead of other shares that you bought at a certain price. So I'm going to put in a stop loss for those. Oops. Wrong account. I'm still going to keep an eye on VVPR because remember we were talking about, I said this thing, it likes to bounce. And I was saying it earlier, 15 should be my risk. I don't know why I'm keeping my wrist so tight. $15 has to be the risk. I don't know why I didn't go with that earlier. I tried to, but then I shouldn't even be in the trade if I don't want to, you know, put my risk at a key level. Right now, low a day, 15 looks pretty key. Anyways, I need to do this with my WWR. I'm going to put in a stop loss at 820, which it looks like it's about to hit it right now. I need to select those shares. 819, and then I'll look to add those shares back lower. Select lots. 500. Oh shit, I sold them. That was an accident. Didn't mean to do that. I sold my WWR. I didn't put a stop loss in. I just accidentally sold them. Oops, but it's going lower anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, moral of this story is I should have taken all my profits up here in the 950s. I should have taken all, I think I had like $6,000 in profits. Instead, I'm realized $3,000. I am going to add here at 8. Okay, I just added here at 8. We'll see if 8 can hold. So now my new average is 1789. It would have been smart to box myself in too. I probably could have shorted up here this morning in the 950s because I knew it was probably going to dump down or give some up. So there I go. I added 1,500 shares at, what price did I get it at? 803. Meanwhile, VVPR is doing its thing. VVPR over 16 now. I do think WWR is going to bounce. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but a lot of stocks at around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a lot of stocks that are dipping from the open a lot of times at around 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is whenever they tend to bounce. All right. I'm going to sell some of this VVPR right now because it has been getting rejected by VWAP over and over. Okay, sold some at 1650. There we go. Yes. Keep going. VVPR. Let's see that 17. Is VWAP going to reject it again? There she goes. Come on. Give me 17. Volume's coming in. Squeeze. Squeeze. All right, I took out the rest in 1680s. Meanwhile, WWR is selling off. So now WWR, the red to green, keep in mind it should bounce right here. Red to green is 781. So actually, if we're going to pile in, right here is the spot to do it on VVPR or WWR. So I'm going to add some more shares right here at red to green. Is it going to go through? Is it going to go through? Go red on the day? All right, I just bought another 1,000 shares. So this is red to green right here at, it's right at red to green at 779. So ideally it should bounce right here. I'll be surprised if it doesn't bounce. Come on, WWR, bounce for me. Oh man, your boss had an order for VVPR at 12:30. Didn't get filled. Man. Oh, come on, WWR. Seriously? I mean, look at the support from yesterday. I mean, look at that support from yesterday. It should bounce right here. There's support from yesterday. That's the close of yesterday. I'm not, if it goes red just a little bit, I'm not going to sell it just yet, because it could go red and then come back. Dip down to the 760s. Jesus Christ, what a sell-off. I missed the short. Now it's going to start to bounce a little bit. 770s. All right, I bought some more. 769. And I'm glad I sold my VVPR up in the 1650s and 1680s because it is going night-night. Damn, I'm glad I sold my LKNCY. LKNCY is good potential dip buy. It's down to $4 now. In fact, I'm going to buy some right now. LKNCY. Nice panic. Come on, give me a fill. God, I hate OTCs. Can't get a fill on shit. There we go. I got some LKNCY. LKNCY. Look at that panic. I'm buying it the whole round number at 4. So I'm buying it the whole round number at 4. And looking to sell into a bounce. Maybe best case scenario be 450. Probably start selling in the 420s. So yeah, LKNCY, shitty OTC stock. Man, look at that. Look at this breakout. Nice breakout. So this would be a number 5 dip buy too. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 green days. Then we got a big sell-off right now. We're going to get a bounce on this one. So I'm going to stay with this trade for right now. I really like the fact that it's panicked so much. And remember, we're only a half an hour away from 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right now, these stocks that are dipping are going to start bouncing very soon. Hence why I'm not freaking out about WWR going against me too much. Because look, it's starting to bounce a little bit. We'll get a bounce. And we still got to go over CEI. We got to talk about that setup for sure. All right. So there we go. And we're starting to get a bounce on LKNCY now. LKNCY. So I'm going to put an order to sell some at 420. Sell some at 420. Actually, I'll put it just below 420. God, why are executions so hard with OTCs? So annoying. And look at that. VVPR cracked 15. Okay, I sold some at 415 on LKNCY. I'll be right back. I gotta get something. I gotta get a cup of coffee and take a leak. WWR starting to bounce. Should have took all my profits up at 950 and then piled in here. And LAK and CY, what is it going to do? WWR, LKNCY. I'm going to put another order to sell some more at 425. I'm going to put, actually I'll put it at 424. CEI holding $1. JE again with a nice move. JE got a float of 2.5 million. Man, this thing has just gotten its ass kicked. Yeah, breaking the hot pre-market highs. JE. Yeah, not bad move. JE. Look at that daily one more time. But look at this daily chart on JE. Okay, it's got a bad history of failed spikes. So I definitely am going to keep this one on watch, but I'm going to keep it on watch for a short. So if this thing keeps squeezing, maybe up to 8 or 9, then I'll look to short any kind of parabolic activity. Just because of the daily chart, I mean, if you look at the daily, every time it spikes, it fails. Spike, fail. 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 So why would today be any different? So hopefully it can squeeze up to like maybe 10. Be sweet to see it go to 10. Eight, maybe 9. It looks like it's fighting just to get over 750. Meanwhile, WWR putting in the saddest, weakest bounce. Thank God they put out news. I'm also impatient as fuck, though, too. So, I want things to happen immediately. And a lot of times they don't. LKNCY still bouncing a little bit. See if we can make it to 420. VVPR trying to find some support in the 1470s. Come on, WWR. All right, we're up at 420 on LKNCY. I mean, my goal is 450. My goal should be 475 because that's where red to green is, or 480, but I don't think it can get that high. Maybe it can. LKNCY is making me want to sell some more because it's not bouncing over 420. So I sold a little bit more I didn't get it all executed though, of course. So we'll just leave it alone for now. Should have took more size at 4. I was really confident it was going to bounce off 4. And it has, but it's been kind of a weak bounce. Damn, I am super shocked we're not getting a better bounce out of WWR. GME on the move. GameStop. Yeah, they put out news yesterday. They got a deal with Microsoft. Look at that. Yeah, I bought this yesterday, right after the news came out. About right here during this consolidation. I think at 11, 19, something like that. And then sold into this squeeze. Look at that. And then it gapped down. So you got to take your profits, kids. You got to take your fucking profits. These NASDAQs are way too choppy, way too whippy. When you get a big percentage move, just take it, man. Because more times than not, it just comes right back. It just goes right back to where it was. And then it goes back up again. You know? So you got to just take the money. I didn't take it all this morning. I should have took it all this morning when WWR. I could have fucking been a $6,000 winner today. Instead, I'm a fucking $3,000 winner. I mean, I hate to bitch and win, but yeah, GameStop, they put out, so basically how GameStop is going to do it is they got a deal with Microsoft. This actually sounds like huge news. They got a deal with Microsoft, and with this deal, it's like a cloud-based thing where people can rent games, but now they don't have to actually go to the store. They can just rent the game through the cloud. Wouldn't that be cool? You don't even have to go to the store and buy the game anymore. You can just fucking get it through the cloud. So that sounds like pretty solid news. And they have the word Microsoft in there. So that makes it more attractive too. And it was breaking out on the daily chart. Look at this breakout on the daily yesterday. The news came out. I was watching it. Boom. I read the news. I was like, oh, fuck. This is pretty good. It had a pullback down to the 11s. I was like, all right. Right here. Look, I'm buying at the support. I was buying at 11. Buying at a whole dollar number. Buying on the support on the daily chart. And then it squeezed. Man, we're getting some really pathetic bounces today. LKNCY, sad bounce. WWR looks like it's putting in a higher low, maybe, hopefully. VVPR still giving it up, down to the 1450s. So things are slowing down a little bit right now. Let's talk about CEI. Yesterday, Mark Crook talked about this one a little bit in the webinar. This is a great setup right here. Okay, first of all, let's look at the daily on CEI. This is why I like CEI. Right here. It's breakouts and just trades in general work better whenever you have the intraday lining up with the daily. So you can see, it was topping out in the 80s, topping out in the 80s, right? Then yesterday, look at this volume. You got the volume coming in, and this is a multi-day breakout. So it's breaking out of this range in the 80s. And, okay, so that's attractive. The volume and the breakout on the daily. Plus, if you look at the intraday, you can call this ABCD. You can call it gun chart. You can call it VWAP hold setup. But here it is. Here's the initial spike from 70 up to like 88. All right, you don't even have to be there for that initial spike. You see that run up, and it pulls back, and it holds this VWAP. It's holding its initial gains, and that's what we want to see. We want to see it holding its initial gains. You can see it. It touches VWAP, dips below VWAP just a little bit, but now you know that since it's holding VWAP, and it's holding its gains, and it's threatening to break out on the daily. Remember, 84 was the high. A lot of those wicks were at 80. The highs were at 80, so now we're over 80. It's holding VWAP. It's got volume. And then you can see right here during power hour, or not during power, but later in the day, towards the end of the day, you could buy this breakout. Look at this volume come in. Look at the volume. You're over, once it gets over 84, gets over this pivot point right here, you're moving into a later part of the day where the volume starts coming in. Look at that breakout. Boom. And then it pulls back and it confirms the breakout. Pulls back. You got this little separation from VWAP right here. You can see it's holding here, and then you got a big squeeze, parabolic squeeze. I was shorting. I missed. I didn't actually take this trade. But whenever Crook mentioned it and I looked at it, I was like, wow, this is a perfect setup. Because you got the intraday lining up with the daily. It's holding VWAP. You know, and it's breaking out over that multi-day break. So you're getting the intraday breakout and the multi-day breakout. You're getting two types of breakouts, and you have the volume. All those things are a recipe for success. All of those things combined together. And then you got this big squeeze up to $1.40. I shorted into this parabolic move, and then I was covering at 120 and at 115. All right, I sold some WWR at $8. I sold the shares. Remember whenever I added shares at 803? I sold those shares just now, just to reduce my risk and reduce my position size a little bit, because I had fucking 4,500 shares. It's too many shares. Uh-oh, WKHS, new highs. Wow. Well, WKHS, when I look at it on the daily chart, it's mid-range. So, see, it's mid-range, so I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if it's going to hold this and then keep squeezing, or if it's going to dump. So I'm just not going to fuck with it. I'll leave it alone. And we're over 8 now with WWR. I'll put it in an order right now, so just bear with me for a second. I could sell the rest of my WWR right now for a $600 profit. And I'm very tempted to take it, but I feel like WWR is going to keep going up in coming days. I feel like it's going to go up on Monday. I'm definitely not holding 30. I'm long 3,500 shares right now with an average of 781, but I'm definitely not going to hold that many shares overnight because crazy shit happens overnight. I probably will only hold, depending on how it closes, I'll probably only hold 1,000 shares WWR, depending on how it closes. Hey, LK and CY finally starting to fucking go a little bit. You made it past 420. Okay. LK and CY, you suck. Or I'm impatient. Or both. There you go. I sold some at 420. Took some more profits. God. I had $1,000 in profits on WWR just less than a minute ago. I almost took it too. I'm going to take some off. Okay, I got an order. I sold some at 805 of my WWR. And look at that, LK and CY continuing to bounce. That trade's working out pretty well now. Up to VWAP. Nope, every time I think it's going to go. I'm pulling my stop loss at 419. So you're going to squeeze or I'm going to take the rest of my profits. And is VVPR coming back? It is about 15 minutes away from 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think VVPR is going to bounce soon. JE hit. Thank you for alerting me on that. JE hit. I need to get that up on a chart over here. Oh, look at that. Parabolic move. Well, it's not super parabolic, but it's looking really, really nice. I'm going to look to short JE. If it gets close to 9, I'm going to start trying to short it. In fact, I want to take a little starter short right now. Oh my God, I took too many shares. Didn't mean to do that. Get me out. Whew. That was dumb. I accidentally took 2,500 shares long and I meant to take 250. Or 2,500 shares short and I meant to take 250 short. All right, I got executed at 8 in the 820s. And we're up to 427 on LK and CY. Look at that. I'm just going to keep moving my stop loss up. course, I put a stop loss in, and it doesn't. It hits it, and it doesn't execute me. Okay, it executed partial. All right, so I'm out of LK and CY at 424. So made 24 cents on it. Had 2,500 shares. So yeah, not bad. Made a few $100. And JE. Get that one up. So I got some short. It's my average. Short at 820. Just a dabble though. It's up from 6. MMLP hitting the high day scanner. Okay, I think JE's about to pull back. So if JE pulls back to 750, 760, I'm going to be covering. In fact, I might want to short some more. Okay, shorted a more little JE. I think JE is going to pull back to 760 right here. There we go. So now it's starting to pull back some. I got 1,000 shares short now. I added right when it looked like it was getting ready to dump. And it pulls back to VWAP. I will be covering right there back to VWAP. 750 is my best case scenario for this one. It's holding 8 now. I thought it busted through 8, and I thought I was about to start giving it up, but it may not want to. It may not be ready yet. We just want a little dip back to VWAP. That's it. It may have some more upside in it. I may be a little early. Meanwhile, a little pullback on WWR in the 790s. I'm not going to add. Let's hold what I got. So, something to take note of on JE, the red to green on it was 687. So the red to green was 687 on JE. Look at that. So it dips a little bit. Look at 687. Once it hit 687 and it went green on the day, look at it. It really starts to take off. And then it pulls back and it confirms it in the 680s. It held green, and then it held VWAP. This is a good spot to buy on this little dip right here. And then it takes off to 850. It's got a catalyst. Not really, no. I mean, it's just bouncing off its lows. What happened to my chart? There it is. Okay, I think Jay is about to crack 8. Maybe I'll get my 50 cents a share out of it. Meanwhile, WWR just pulling back to a little dip right there. Looks like it wants to hold that. So the red to green on WWR is 780. My entry is 776. I should probably just put my stop loss at 776. Because I want it to hold green and I don't want to lose money on it. Meanwhile, JE. All right. Now I need to start looking to cover on JE. 760s. Yes, got to cover here. Cover some. Boom. Covered. The 760s. I'm going to cover some more. And I'm going to put an order to cover the rest at 753. See if I can get down to 750. Oh no, WWR testing the 780s. I should have just took it all off up at 8. Took my extra $1,000. Forget about this stock. I mean, if I was going to add, right here would be the spot. Come on, you fucker. Holding 780. Is WWR going to hold 780? It's going to be higher low. To add right here, to not add. That is the question. All right, I added some at 779. Give me a bounce, pumpkin. And I got a fill at 753. Got my fill on JE. So got around 50 cents a share on that one, on this dip down to VWAP on the short. Hopefully it bounces off VWAP and keeps squeezing so we can short it again later. It's probably a pretty decent buy right here. You could buy it and risk 750. It's also at, you should have support. See these tops right here from earlier this morning, which were high a day, should become former resistance, become support. So it should bounce right here off the 750s. And it is. LK and COI just continues its steady trend up. I should have taken like 5,000 shares at $4. I was like so sure it was going to bounce right there, and it did. I had no reason to sell LK and CY. That was a perfect bounce. It hasn't broke this trend at all. There was no reason to sell. I don't know why the fuck I sold. VVPR still fading down to 14. Don't worry, kids. We're going to get a bounce on VVPR. Yeah, LK and CY testing VWAP. VVPR testing low a day. I'm wondering if JE, if this is a higher low. And I should short it again right here. Or a lower high, I should say. Okay, I took some more short at 794 on JE. I'm shorting this bounce. See how long it lasts. I'm going to add up in the 8s. Missed my ad. Tried to get it at 8. That's okay. WWR holding green on the day. That's huge for WWR. Holding green on the day. Look at that. Putting in a lower high. But it gets up to 8. I'm going to sell a significant portion of my shares because I got too big of a position right now. I'm like sweating every tick. So if it gets up to 8, I'm going to sell 2,500 shares. Just hold 1,000. And then set a stop loss at red to green, probably like 7. Probably 774. The low right here. And then just forget about it. Go about my day, and if it hits it, it hits it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just when I thought you were going to bounce and stay green on the day. Fuck me. I'm about to put in a stop loss at 774 on WWR. There it goes. Bounce off that red to green. LK and CY starting to roll over just a little bit. Oh, I got executed on some more short on JE. I think, look at VVPR starting to curl a little bit. Is this where it's going? Oh, no! Fucking WWR. You son of a bitch. VVPR. I'm really tempted to buy VVPR right now. In fact, I'm going to. All right, I bought some VVPR. On this dip. Well, it's starting to curl a little bit. Plus, it's 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, VVPR has a history of coming back. Of bouncing. Meanwhile, JE starting to fade. JE. Now the question is it going to hold VWAP? It's pulling back. We'll see how it acts at VWAP. Come on, WWR. I'm like begging it. Hold your shit together. Yep, I should have took it all off up in the 8s. I mean, it could still bounce and go, but I just don't like the fact that I'm red 5 cents on it. Or 3 cents. And looks like JE is holding VWAP a little bit. I might cover this right now because it's not breaking down. All right, JE's starting to give it up a little bit more. Let's put in a stop loss at 776. If it starts to bounce, then I'll get out. All right, I'm out of JE. So took a little profits there. Meanwhile, VVPR is, well, I'm in at 1471. So let's see if it can bounce, get through 15 now. And WWR is still fading. So the next opportunity I get to sell, next bounce, I'm not going to sell into this weakness, but next bounce I'm going to sell. Probably most all my shares. And then risk 750. MDGS, that was on the pre-market gainers. I haven't looked at that one yet today. MDGS. That one looks like it wants to bounce. Oh. I like the daily on it. Look at the daily. It's breaking out a little bit. It's got some volume. Keep this one on the back burner simmering. We'll keep that one on watch for sure. Oh, I covered my JE too short or too early. It's testing VWAP now. Probably gives it up. I got out too early. That's okay though. So MDGS. So we'll keep that one on a side chart. Meanwhile, WWR cocksucker is bouncing. That might be a double bottom right there on WWR. I mean, I want to believe it's a fucking double bottom. Damn, I covered my short too early on JE. Okay, we're starting to get a bounce. The 780s. I'm going to sell 2,000 shares. All right, sold 2,000 shares for break even. That sucks. My balls. That really sucks. But I got to reduce my risk. I got too big of a position size. I can live with, so now I can set my risk just under the low of this candle. And I still have 1,500 shares. And now I can walk away from my computer and not be stressed about it or anything like that. I don't mind losing 10, 15 cents on 1,500 shares. But I don't want to do it on fucking 3,500 shares. VVPR. Come on, man. I'm telling you, let's look at VVPR. Let's look at some of these. We'll look at a 20-day, 1-hour chart. Look at some of these days. Like, look at this day right here. So it spiked in the morning. It dipped. And then look at this bounce it puts in from 8 all the way to 950. So that's one day. Let's look at some other days. Here's another one. It dumped from the 13s all the way down to the 1080s, and then it bounced from the 1080s all the way up to 1244. I just remember this thing. Every time it dumps, it like rips. It comes back. Look at this one. It spiked up that day right here. It spiked up. It dumped. Next day, boom, rips back. I mean, countless times, over and over and over. Every time this thing dumps, it just keeps coming back. Right here, look at this one. Dumped all the way down to the 960s, bounced to the 1150s. So why would today be any different? Oh, it's at 1523 now. Sweet, we in the monies. Now, I mean, it gets the VWAP, I'll probably sell it. Which will probably be too early, but that's alright, I don't care. I'll take my win and move on with my life. Look at that, 1560 now. I gotta really sell some. I'm gonna try to get some out at 1550. Sell. Got some out at 1551. Yay. Maybe we can get executed on the rest up at, I'm going to try to get the rest out at VWAP. So put it just below VWAP at, we'll try to get the rest out at 16.
IPO is now trading.
See if it can get there. If it can get to 16, I think it can. In fact, I'll be surprised if it doesn't. And WWR, I mean, it's finding some support. We got a double bottom here. I mean, I got some faith that WWR is going to bounce. You know, and the bounce may not, the real bounce may not. I mean, if this thing starts grinding and churning back and gets over 8 and closes near like 850 or something today, then we could potentially get a nice gap up and get a squeeze up to 950, 10 on Monday. So I got 1,500 shares. I'm just going to set my stop loss just below right here at just below the 760s. Probably at 759. And then just try to forget about it for now. And VVPR slap down momentarily. All right, I got my stop loss in on WWR. Meanwhile, I kind of want to add shares back on VVPR at 1520. I did. I tried. I missed. Am I going to get my ad? I got it. 1520 I added on VVPR. On this little pullback right here. So hopefully that 15 can hold. 1496 is now my new average. Oh, wow. WWR almost hit my stop loss. I got it set at 759. Buy some more. I bought some more WWR at 764. Put my stop loss in, adjust my stop loss. Okay, don't hit 759, please, on WWR. We'll put it at 758. Damn it. It hit it. It hit it. Fucking WWR. So we'll watch it. Maybe we'll buy it lower. Let it do its thing for a little bit. Meanwhile, VVPR starting to bounce. I think VVPR is going to go to 16. Okay, 750. I'm gonna risk 750. I hop back in WWR at 758.
IPO is now trading.
Okay, there we go. And meanwhile, VVPR is pulling back some more. Do I want more shares? No, I don't. I'll just wait, see what happens. Oh man, JE fading down to the 720s. Fuck. Shouldn't have covered that short. I keep my stop losses too tight. Even though WWR is selling off, it's still going to get a bounce. In fact, I'm not even going to fucking put the stop loss in right now. I'm going to wait. It may not bounce till Monday, but it's going to bounce. WWR. I mean, it had a bounce today, but look at this daily. This motherfucker is going to bounce. I know it is. It just might continue fading. And you know what? The lower the better. If it continues to fade, good. Because it's going to make the bounce that much better. WWR holding the 750s perfectly so far. Is WWR going to hold 750? VVPR. Nope. WWR is not going to hold the 750s. How do I not take $6,000 in profit? Oh, that was dumb. That was dumb. $6,000 in profits up here in the 950s. Fucking A. I really fucked that up. I mean, I'm still up 3,500 on the day, but still a little bit annoying. VVPR. Are you going to come back, VVPR? I better set my stop loss. 1470. Man, at 1496. All right. I'm going to put my stop loss in at 1469. So I'm putting it just below the low of these candles right here. So hopefully it can, this is just a little quiet dip and then it's going to rip. That's what I'm hoping for. There we go. Now we're over 15. So hopefully it can hold that. Now hopefully we can get a rip up to 16. All right, VVPR, let's go. See you later, Matt. Yeah, thanks for the likes, whoever liked it. So I got the stop loss in on VVPR right below these candles at 1469. So we'll see if it can continue to bounce. And there it goes. Hit it. I think that I am done for now as far as trading goes. I'll come back for the afternoon session. Man, what a sell-off on WWR. Fuck, I should have shorted that. I was long. You know what? I was long. I should have shorted 1,000 shares and just faded this. I mean, I would never have made it to 750, but I could have potentially. I would have made it to 8 probably. So, nevertheless, it was a successful day. We had a nice gap up this morning. Went over the CEI setup. That was a really, really clean looking breakout and a squeeze into the afternoon yesterday. Holding that VWAP. I mean, VVPR, I really feel like it's going to bounce. It probably is. But I need to be done. It was fun. Every Wednesday and Friday, I try to be consistent with Wednesdays and Fridays at 9:10 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for participating, commenting. I think that I'm done for right now. It's beautiful. We got beautiful weather here in Iowa today. Oh, and I want to suggest a book for those of you. Pretty good book. Let's see here. It's called. It's a good book. It's called The Daily Stoic. 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living. It's pretty good. So basically, what they do is they take, I just finished that book on. It's kind of a philosophy book, a week ago or so, and then I got a new one. And this one, it takes translations of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, and it basically translates, some of their wisdom or whatever. Anyways, it's an interesting book. While I'm reading, every single day it says 306 So you're supposed to. It's not. So every day you're just supposed to read one of them every single day. So 366. So there's 365 days in a year. The extra one is for leap year. And there goes VVPR. God damn it. I set my stop loss too tight again. There, I would have got my 16. Son of a bitch. Anyways, that's okay though. I mean, maybe it's not too late to get in. I hate to buy into strength. But this thing looks like it wants to go. God, I really don't want to buy into strength. I really don't want to buy it up here in the 15. I think it's going to go higher. Damn it, I bought into strength. I bought it. Man, I'm already regretting it. God, I hate buying into strength. Henry's pretty good at it. I can't do it, though. There he goes. Over 16 now. See, I wanted to be selling here, not buying. Fuck that. I'm out. I wanted to be selling here, not buying. So I don't know why the hell I'm trying to buy it now. That's FOMO. That's a FOMO trade right there. FOMO fucking trade all day right there. That's why I got out, because I realized it was just a FOMO trade. I mean, it probably goes higher, but anyways. Yeah, so this book, you're supposed to read, you just read a little bit every day, and it's short. They're short. It'll take you just a few minutes to read, but they're really good. They're really good, and it's funny, like a lot of the stuff that it says in here, it's amazing. A lot of the wisdom that's portrayed in here, it's amazing how like so much of that stuff is like relates to trading. It even talks about the market. I think one comment that I read yesterday was something about talked about an investor without discipline is just a gambler. It said that in there. But yeah, there's so many things that pertains to trading. So that's why even though the book isn't about trading, it has a lot, has a lot of wise things to say. So, and it's easy to understand, it's quick to read, it's interesting. And so I thought I would suggest that book. I'm always looking for a new good book. Oh, D22, you were here, bro. Awesome. Glad you were here. Had a nice gap up this morning, but now it is failing hardcore. So that's okay, though. Let it fail. I still think WWR is going to bounce. It's going to bounce probably Monday. So the lower the better for WWR. Moving into midday, I think VVPR is going to go higher. I think it's going to get over 16. But I don't want to FOMO it out. Thank you guys. I am done for now. See you guys next Wednesday if you guys decide to come back in again.